Shabakurioren, se shabaruvan, bioren, 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 escapador, bioren, bioren, se shabaruvan. And it's about a guy that's got this fancy boat, and his girlfriend's going out telling everybody, oh my God, oh, Gary Owen's got this beautiful boat, and that's all it's about, is this boat. But it sounds kind of cool in Gaelic. I learned the Gaelic part from Tiffany Schaefer, and I think you've probably heard of her. She's in Ohio, and she teaches Scottish harp. And it was a fun tune to learn, but I haven't played it in a little bit, so I've kind of gotten rusty on it, but I need to bring it back because it's lots of fun to sing.
Marcia Snyder wants to know if Owen has a beach house.
I don't know. But it's fun.
That goes along with Wayfaring Stranger. anyway. Okay, this is probably an all-time favorite, if I can get through it. Danny Boy.
We're gonna do a song called Sailing at High Tide. It's an old Bahamian sea shanty, really, done in 1916. It's an old sailing sloop that ran aground and outside Nassau. And if you've ever been to Nassau, it's an island, of course, but to the north of it, it's very deep. You have the tongue of the ocean, this part of the deepest part of the Atlantic Ocean. But to the south of it, you have about 30 miles of about 10 feet of water, which, you know, a lot of boats can get through, except you have coral heads that come out of the water. And even to this day, if you cross over to the very next island, which everybody likes to go to, you can only do it on a calm day because you have to be able to spot those coral heads. And they're for 30 miles. You have these beautiful coral heads that come out of the water and they look like they're, you know, they're just gorgeous. But this is back in 1916. This is an old lullaby, actually. a mother walking her child through the halls of Castle Dromore. And she's praying to the gods to protect them from the weather and from the O'Brien clan's banshee.
That's something I often pray about.
It was 1896, and the guy who wrote the song wrote the lyrics to the Skyboat song.
Oh, nice.
Harold Bolton.
Yes, yeah, I couldn't remember the name, Sir. Yeah, Sir.
Between all of us who make a whole brain.
That's about
Well,
right.
today I need help.
Defective one, but yeah.
Okay.
Is there an intro? Wait, Brent, is there an intro on this?
Yeah, there's an intro.
Okay.
I'm gonna intro. Can I do it again? Okay, you write notes. Okay.
I'm going to try
No,
to do
you're
a
fine.
couple Irish tunes.
I'll cut your head up.
I think the first
It's just a four.
hammer dulcimer tune I ever
You're fine.
learned was Morrison's Jig.
Good whistle song.
And if I don't get lost on Rodney's instrument here, I'll try to finish on the road to Lisdoonvarna. So we'll see how that goes. I'm in the wrong key.
I'm gonna take it, I don't know. It's not gonna be a love song. Well, it could be a love song. Okay. Because it could be a love song to God, so.
Yeah, this love song.
Very nice.
One thing that I learned from Tish is the beauty of the single note. And I will never forget.
Yep.
What is it? The beauty of a single note,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. like she just did. Just gorgeous.
And everybody loves double bowing on the psaltery, but
Yeah. that's-
there's so much in the single bowing.
It's just amazing, yeah, it really is.
I just tried to put, just a little extra feeling, hold it just a tad bit longer, just to get the mood, and I've done Sweet Hour of Prayer or No, It Is Well With My Soul. And I was sitting up there playing, then everybody just started singing in like y'all did.
That was perfect.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Beautifully done.
It's beautiful, yeah.
So,
You got another one?
we're gonna stay with the love.
And I have put together a little story about all our songs. And my most able assistant here, every time I come by a song, she is going to, so everybody knows it's a song. And this is about a young couple going for a walk. There was a young couple taking a walk. She is the gentle maiden, and he is Ned of the Hill. As they walked past a lake, she commented, "How lightly swims the swan." Ned agreed. As they continued on their way, they started across the flatlands called the Curragh of Kildare. There they saw a pretty maid milking her cow. Nearby was the Irish washerwoman washing some clothes. They ran into the maid from the parish of Pendrin. She was carrying a rose. How red!
I'm sorry, premature rose.
How red is that rose, they commented, and she said she found it along the way. They briefly talked, and she suggested they go up Spancel Hill. Up there, they hoped to hear the harp that once through terrace halls played her sweet notes. All they heard was a lark in the clear air. Ned, trying to impress the young lady, dramatically shouted, "Rise, rise, thou merry lark, whose upward flight I love to mark." She smiled sweetly. They went down the hill with hopes of seeing the maid freed from the gallows. Much to their surprise, there she was, running across the field, a rope dangling about her neck. But who is that running with her? Why, it's Michael Finnegan. Also known as the Wild Rover. They ran off into the woods together and was never heard of again. The young couple chuckled and walked on, each carrying their sprig of thyme and singing the bluebells of Scotland. The end.
Sorry about my premature rose.
Oh, that's all right.
We'll do it again.